USMNT wrapped up their group stage in the Gold Cup this year with another lackluster win. And in today's video, we're going to recap all of those 3 wins of the group stage and look ahead to what could be a very scary quarterfinals. So without further ado, let's get to it. What's up, guys? My name is Drew, and if you're new here and you guys love USA Soccer, you're here at the right place. So be sure you subscribe down below to keep up to date with all of my USA Soccer content that I will be pumping out for you guys throughout the whole year. And while you're at it, be sure you guys follow me here on Twitter at Kicking It W with Drew, or Kicking It W Drew. That always confuses me. And of course, my TikTok, which is a brand new handle I just got here. I'm USMNT Shorts over there. So thank you for following me there. And let's get right to the video. So like I said earlier, the USMNT wrapped up another lackluster win in this group stage to close it out, with this time a win over northern rivals Canada. And in this video, guys, we're going to go over, like I said, all 3 games. We're going to recap the 3 games in this group stage. And also, I'm going to go over all the players that I think impressed, players that were just, okay. And of course, players that were really unimpressive, and I feel like they should maybe not be included in any future tournaments for the USMNT. Makes sense? So be sure you guys stick around for that later on in this video. Let's break down the 3 games first. Let's start off with Canada because it was the most recent game, literally happened just a couple hours ago. It's disappointing, a letdown, lackluster. This game was a game that a lot of us were really hyping up, Canadian fans and the USA Soccer fans. Like, top 2 teams, Canada coming off hot form right now with, the World Cup qualifier stuff. Well, the qualifiers are the qualifiers. 8 straight games without a loss. USA Nations League winners. Both teams getting two wins out of 2 so far coming into this game. Took us about 20 seconds and change to score. Shaq Moore 1-0 early on, and that was it. That was the highlight of the whole game. There were some players who had some highlights. Robinson was pretty good. Sam Vines was actually not too bad, which I was surprised. I'm sure a lot of you guys were surprised. He had some good crosses in there. He was not that bad on defending either. He was okay. Going forward, he was good, I would say. James Sands probably the man of the match for me. I think he was impressive in that back 3. I want to see more of James Sands. I want to see him start more. We had an injury to Walker Zimmerman. Not sure, at least right now, what's going on with that. And of course, Shaq Moore being Shaq Moore, just killing it on the right flank until he got subbed out for Reggie Cannon later on in that game. We had a double striker duo of Yati Zardes and Daryl DK. It just looked weird. I mean, it was interesting. I wanted to see what would happen. Those 2 guys fighting over top striker spot so far in the Gold Cup. At least that's how I saw it. But yeah, it was just nobody could score. And the only team that looked like they were going to score was Canada. And what really was the biggest letdown in this game for me was Greg Berhalter. I think he managed this game poorly. I think, like I said, we scored early on. We were pretty good for like 15, 20 minutes tops. After that, we kind of went downhill a bit. Canada came into the game more. They really kind of understood they bossed our midfield. Gianluca Buzia was out-muscled. He is great going forward. In this game, he was okay, but going backwards and defending, he looked like he needed to get some more meat in his bones. Like, he was getting bossed around. And this is a guy who was nearly on the edge of joining Venezia and Serie A. So I don't know. It was just a very disappointing game. Greg Berhalter, like I said, probably the biggest letdown of this game. He saw, or maybe he failed to see the danger and the tactic switch that he needed to make, and he didn't make those changes. He needs to come in there. I know he was experimenting with lineups all 3 games. I know there was injury to Paul Arriola and Walker Zimmerman, Reggie Cannon too. But still, if you see the danger, you got to assess the situation. I feel like he didn't assess it correctly. He took way too long to bring on some substitutes in the second half. I feel like he could have brought on Eric Williamson earlier to really kind of spice up and help the midfield gain some life. It was just very disappointing coaching tactics by Greg Berhalter. But then again, that's kind of what we all expect from him so far in his managerial career with the USMNT. Speaking of lackluster 1-0 wins, let's go to the first game opening up the group stage, of course, against Haiti. Again, 8th minute, early on, first half. Sam Vine scores a weak-ass header. That's it. We should have been scoring more goals. I don't care who we're playing. Like I said in my tweet a couple weeks ago, the USMNT should win all of its games, no exception. But I failed to mention was the way we're winning it needs to be convincing. None of these games in these group stages convinced me. The 1-0 win over Haiti in Canada, unconvinced. Canada, we could have lost at any moment or even drew any moment, and then we would have become second runners-up in the group and probably got a harder opponent in the next round, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Uh, and the game against Martinique, let's go to that one real quick. You can't. We won the 6-1. I understand. We scored a lot of goals. Blah 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 blah. But we really can't judge all these players based off like we can't be like, oh, Daryl DK was freaking killing him. He's so good in this tournament so far. Could score 2 goals against Martinique. No, yes, yeah, Zara scores too. Zara scored against that game against Martinique, and you guys don't think he's the best either. I agree with you. Nicolas Gioacchini scored. Miles Robinson scored. Everybody was fucking scoring. You can't really judge this team right now on playing like the last place team in our group and doing well. We should be doing well. We should be doing well against Haiti. We should have played that as well against Haiti, and also maybe half as good against Canada. Canada's a tougher opponent. We can't expect to score 6 goals on them, but if we can, fuck it, let's do it. Like this team, the whole recap for the group stage for me, unconvincing, underwhelming. I'm nervous for the next round. We could face either for right now, at the time of recording this video, we could either face Costa Rica or Jamaica. And if I had to pick which one, I don't know. Because both of them could give us trouble. Yes, we just recently played Costa Rica and we got a 4-0 win, but that was a friendly. And also we had our A team. This is not our A team. This is our like B minus team. Um, it's not looking good for us. I thought we would get to the at least final and lose the final to Mexico or some shit like that because Mexico's got a pretty strong team. But I think we have a strong possibility of going out early in the quarterfinals against Costa Rica or Jamaica. Am I wrong? Maybe, and I hope I am. But right now, the way it looks scary, guys. I'm scared because it does not look like Greg Berhalter has a set like plan for any team in this Gold Cup so far. So enough ranting about the games and Greg Berhalter and tactics. Let's talk about the good stuff, the players. There was a handful of players that I would say had some positive performances. I've seen some positive things throughout this group stage. Let's break them down quick. Obviously, number one, Shaq Moore. From the first minute of the fucking first game against Haiti, I was like, dude, this guy's trying to score a goal already. This guy's going crazy. Like, he's awesome. This is a guy who a lot of us, including myself, has forgotten about as an option for right back or just an option in general to call up for the USMNT. He plays in the second division of La Liga. If you don't know that, he does. But he came in here, took the starting spot of Reggie Cannon, who got injured, and he started. Reggie Cannon came back for the game against Canada, but Shaq Moore still started over him, and rightfully so. Shaq Moore, I think, has been our best player throughout the whole group stage. Okay. Follow that, but I would go Matt Turner, probably our second best player there. In goal, he's definitely our biggest contender to Zach Steffen, who could lose his starting spot to either Matt Turner or Ethan Horvath. The goalkeeping position is a position that I would say is still up for grabs. Nobody's really making any convincing performances consistently to be like, yeah, he's definitely my number one starting goalkeeper. But we don't know yet. But yeah, Shaq Moore, dude, super impressive. I want to see more of him. I want to see like him in future USMNT camps, and I think he's making a name for himself, guys, for the World Cup qualifier later on this year. I will not be opposed to that. Gianluca Buzio came in here, of course. The first game against Haiti, he kind of lit it up a bit. The second game against Martinique, of course, like I said, you can't really judge too many players off that game, but he looked good. I liked what I saw. He plays at the 6. Maybe playing at the 6 is not his strong suit so far. He was getting out-muscled against Canada in the midfield. Like I said, the midfield is being overrun, but I still like what I saw from Gianluca Buzio, and the crowd really seemed to love him. Dale DK, of course, another fan favorite. I think he looks good. He has good work rate. Not getting the best service, but we really don't have any good wingers. And I think that lack of wingers is really is forcing Berhalter to try new things, and that's good. This dude needs to try new things. James Sands, another great player. Game against Martinique did good. This game against Canada especially did really good. I like what I saw. I like how he can cut out passes. He can really break down plays. I like that he can play at the back as well. Matt Turner, I talked about already. He's probably our second best player as from this group stage. Miles Robinson was pretty good too. I like what I saw from him. I really liked his partnership with Walker Zimmerman. I want to see Miles Robinson perform the same way throughout the rest of the campaign if we get far enough. Eric Williamson did pretty good too. So I want to see more from Williamson as well. Let's move on now to the neutral players, which basically the players who were just like, they were okay, nothing too crazy, nothing really too bad. Number one, of course, is my boy, friend of the channel, Sebastian Lletget. Nothing too really good from Sebastian Lletget. I would say he didn't score any goals. I'm surprised about that. Usually he's in the right place at the right time, but so far not yet. Um, he was okay. Kellen Acosta, he was okay. He got the assist for the goal against como se dice, Canada. He's okay. I feel like what you're gonna get out of Kellen Acosta and Sebastian Lletget, and they've kind of performed the way that we expect them to. So it's not too bad, but it's not overwhelmingly good either. Sam Vines, I put him here as an okay player because, the first game against Haiti, he was garbage. But he minus that goal, okay. But I think this game against Canada really kind of changed my mind a bit. He had bad performance, but he also had good performance. And I was like, he's okay. George Bello as well. I saw a little bit. We saw a little bit of him against Martinique, but from what I saw, he was okay. Nothing too bad, but also nothing really too good. Matthew Hoppe put in here too. Same thing. Like he played a little bit. Played as a dual striker with Daryl DK against Martinique. He was alright. Nothing too special. Came on against Canada. He was alright. Nothing too special, but also nothing too bad or nothing too good. Reggie Cannon, he was injured for most of it. I kind of here as like a null, almost like a neutral, because he didn't have any really bad performances. He was decent against Canada, but not really. He wasn't that good, but he's only had one game, so you really couldn't put him in the unimpressive part. Same thing with Paul Arriola. He had 7 minutes or something like that, got injured. So there goes Paul Arriola. He's just neutral. Nothing. He didn't do nothing. Whatever. Walker Zimmerman he's been okay so far. Not too bad. So I put him here. Now let's get to everyone's favorite spot. The unimpressive players, the players who are just complete garbage. All right, number 1. Jonathan Lewis. From the first fucking lineup we saw against Haiti, I was like, Jonathan Lewis, bro? Jonathan, why not like just switch a formation? Why not even try Matthew Hoppe on there or Nicholas Giacchini on the left, or just to go with the back 3 and just do left winger, left wing backs? Why? And he showed us why he has a lot of criticism. He also showed us why he's a bench warmer at Colorado Rapids. Garbage. Nothing he did impressed me. Sorry, Lewis, but for me, I don't want to see him play the rest of the tournament. Same thing goes for Jackson Newell. Dude, garbage. I also got Christian Well down here. Not too harsh on him either. I think he was okay against Canada. I'm okay against Martinique. He was okay against Canada. He came on late against Canada though, but nothing too crazy. But I just, like I said, we know we're gonna get out of Roldan, and I feel like it's not anything special. I also have here Yatsi Zardes as an unimpressive player. Like you can be like, hey Drew, he scored against Martinique. He has a goal so far. Yeah, bro. But Daryl DK should have had 3 goals, motherfucker. He should have had 3 goals, a hat trick. If it wasn't for those weird rules, he would have had a hat trick against Martinique. Whatever. But yeah, Yazi Zardes should be scoring against Martinique. They're a team that's way below our level. But he also should be scored against Haiti. Why not show the same energy there? And you can be like, yeah, well, Drew, DK didn't score against Haiti either. Well, guess what? Daryl DK didn't start. Daryl DK wasn't a guy who was brought in to be like the senior striker, the most experienced striker, a veteran striker here, just like Zardes was. And Zardes has, for me, not shown anything, even off the ball, that he should be starting over Daryl DK in the following games in the knockout stages. Nothing at all. I feel like I see the same fucking Zardes I've seen for the last 4 years for the USMNT. The last player I have on here is, of course, Donovan Pines, who he was whatever against Martinique, but against Canada, he looked like garbage. He had to come in, obviously come in earlier than expected because Walker Zimmerman had an injury. Pines came in here, and that's it. And he kind of just disappeared. Yeah, the group stage was underwhelming and unconvincing, and not. I have no confidence in this team going forward now against Jamaica or Costa Rica. We could very well lose against both teams with the kind of squad we have, with the kind of way they're playing, and with the tactics Greg Berhalter keeps throwing out there. It's scary. So when we get past the quarterfinals, I don't know. We got to see who we're playing first. We're going to break it down, but the only way you guys can see that video is if you're subscribed down below, and if you hit the like button as well, because hitting the like button down below really helps my video, help the channel out, and of course, it helps our community out as well here as a USA Soccer community. So do the right thing, subscribe, like the video, and let me know your thoughts on players that you think underwhelmed or overwhelmed you in this group stage. And of course, let me know how do you think we will do against Jamaica or Costa Rica. As always, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for kicking with me. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.